Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Clinical Dentistry Hub. My name is Dr. Shabista Jabi and you are watching Clinical Dentistry Hub. So I hope you all are doing good. So as a many message request was there to make a video on intracanal medicament. So today we are going to talk about what basically an intracanal medicament is, in which cases you have to use these intracanal medicament, what are the different intracanal medicament we have in dentistry to use it, and what are the method to use these intracanal medicament. And going on with this, I am also going to tell you that what are the question which will come in NEET MDS from these intracanal medicament. So watch the full video to acquire and to grab full knowledge. So let's begin with the video. As its famous scientist Carl said that medicine does not only improve the doubt, it also improves disease. So by using a medicine, you are curing a disease as well as you are curing a doubt. So that what is the mean of this? So basically an intracanal medicament is a dressing which is given in between appointment into the root canal so as to eliminate the microbes present into the root canal. Because when you see the structure of root canal, certain root canal structure is so much deviated that it has a retentive structure. That means how much cleaning and shaping you will do, there will be a retentive microorganism at the end of the root canal. Likewise, you have a curved root, then microorganism will get attracted over here and you are filing and your file is not going up to that position. So it will lead to the case failure. So this is what all about is the intracanal medicament. So basically why does the intracanal medicament role was effective into the endodontics? Because these intracanal medicament there are certain microbes which shows the polymicrobial activity. So to eliminate these bacteria we use an intracanal medicament. So there is the recommendation that is given by the in the Grossman of using an intracanal medicament. That means by this we can judge what your intracanal medicament should have. So basically your intracanal medicament should have an antimicrobial activity, it should have a sustained release of it, and then it should be non-irritating to the periradicular tissue. Not only this, it should always remain stable, because when you are using these intracanal medicament, it should remain stable over there at a very long time. Then it is that when you are using these intracanal medicament, it should remain active whether you are using in the presence of protein or a blood serum. Then it should have a low surface tension, and after a low surface tension it should not stain any tooth, because if it stain any tooth the purpose will not be solved, because from the aesthetic point of view it will not be good. Then it should not include any cell mediated immune response. So all these properties should be there in your intracanal medicament. Now what are the basic requirement of an intracanal medicament? So if you see the requirement which was given by Chang and Pitford indication, that is also given in the book Grossman, which state that you have to use your intracanal medicament when your canal are not drying. That means you have a weeping canal. In that cases you have to use an intracanal medicament so that it dries off your canals, and then it is used to eliminate microbes, to render the root canal contents inert, and to neutralize the tissue debris, and it will act as a barrier against the leakage so that it does not cause the chance of a failure of a root canal treatment. So you must be knowing that earlier when these intracanal medicament was used, it was said that antibiotics will not be used as an intracanal medicament. Why? Because when these antibiotics was used as an intracanal medicament, so most of these antibiotics, they show a bacteriostatic effect. That means they were able to control the growth of the microorganism, but they were not killing the microorganism. So this serves as a disadvantage in the treatment modalities of these intracanal medicament. So earlier when CMCP was used, which is not now used, then eugenol was used at that time. So basically when eugenol is not really now used because it causes periradicular tissue irritation. So as your requirement already says that it should not cause any periradicular tissue, then it is said that when the formocresol, as it is mostly now used by the periodontists and it is still into being used, is all these were the past about the intracanal medicament. Coming to the present about the intracanal medicament. So in the present scenario, the various intracanal medicament which we use are the calcium hydroxide, chlorhexidine, then we have leather mix paste, we have triple antibiotic paste, we have IKI, and there are other natural agents that we can use as a intracanal medicament, that is Morinda, Triphala, curcumin and propolis. So considering these all into it, let us first start with the calcium hydroxide as an intracanal medicament. Now talking about calcium hydroxide, so this calcium hydroxide, it was introduced by Hermann in 1920. So in dentistry it was introduced by Hermann in 1920. So what basically a calcium hydroxide do? So a calcium hydroxide basically has an antibacterial action. It has an ability to form an hard tissue barrier over here, and not only this, after forming the hard tissue barrier, when these calcium hydroxide, it dissociate and it form hydroxyl ion. So when these hydroxyl ions are released, so these hydroxyl ion will disrupt the cytoplasmic membrane of the bacteria, and it will denature the protein membrane present over there, and it will also denature the DNA. Calcium hydroxide has a high alkaline pH of 12.5. So while taking, like you are using a calcium hydroxide, it's in the powder form. So if you want to mix it in a proper way so as to achieve a better intracanal medicament, so it can be done in two ways, that is in the aqueous form or in the viscous form. If you are doing it in the aqueous form, you can either use normal saline or you can use sterile water, and then in the viscous form we have glycerine, polyethylene glycol on propylene glycol. What personally I use it, I mix it with the glycerine. So you might not be knowing that when you are using calcium hydroxide as an intracanal medicament, if you add calcium hydroxide, if you add chlorhexidine 0.12% in this calcium hydroxide, it serves as an excellent it has an excellent antimicrobial property. So these two combination has shown to be very effective in the literature. As there are pros and cons, both are there for a material. So while talking about calcium hydroxide, there are two main disadvantages of calcium hydroxide. Basically, calcium hydroxide, if it's remain into the canal, so when you obturate a canal with the help of these zinc oxide eugenol sealer, it basically increase the setting time of these zinc oxide sealer, so you will not get a hermetic seal over there. So that is the disadvantage of this. So you have to remove this calcium hydroxide very effective. There is an article by the Baystorm in 1991 which said that if calcium hydroxide is applied for the 5 days, it could eliminate the bacteria for up to 7 weeks. See how much percentage of bacteria can be eliminated. But a synergistic effect, if you have to see the synergistic effect, you have to use combination of calcium hydroxide and chlorhexidine. So if you are using chlorhexidine alone as an intracanal medicament, then you have to use 2% of chlorhexidine as an intracanal medicament. So basically chlorhexidine has a driving property and it is said to be effective against the Enterococcus faecalis, and it is more effective against Enterococcus faecalis in comparison to the calcium hydroxide. So these intracanal medicament, if you have to insert it in the canal, you can carry it with the help of lentular spiral. It is like this, end is there and then it has a twisted form over here. So with the help of these lentular spiral, you can take the paste and you can place it in the canal, rotate it and put it out. Because it has a filling motion, so it will fill the canal very easily. Now the third is, which is used as an intracanal medicament, is a leather mix paste. A leather mix paste, it is a combination of an antibiotic and it has a corticosteroid and it has a trimethylone acetonoid. Basically these triamcinolone, when it is released, it is said that 30% of these triamcinolone, it is released in first 24 hours. In first 24 hours, and rest of the triamcinolone it is released in the rest 14 weeks. So you can see that how much effective your ladder mix paste can be. So when talking about these ladder mix paste, as it can be mixed easily and carried into the canal in a very effective way, and it has a broad spectrum of activity against various microbes, and it does not have a bacteriostatic, it has a bactericidal effect. So next we have TAP, that is triple antibiotic paste, and these triple antibiotics paste contain metronidazole, it has ciprofloxacin, and it has minocycline. Now, as it is said that when you are using certain material, it should not play with the aesthetic. So here when you are using triple antibiotic paste, it has minocycline, so it basically causes discoloration of a tooth. So nowadays there are double antibiotic paste also. Moreover, some people are using cefaclor also in place of minocycline, and in order to avoid it, some of them are using as a double antibiotic paste also. So it is very effective. I mostly prefer using chlorhexidine and in the triple antibiotic paste. Excellent result it shows, triple antibiotic paste. I am 100% sure that it will gonna do miracle in the dentistry in future. And then we have IKI. IKI is basically an iodine which is present in these product. If you can also use 2% of tincture iodine and can use it as an intracanal medicament. Rest intracanal medicament that are natural agent. First we have Morinda citrorfia, then we have Triphala, we have curcumin, and we have propolis. These are newer agent cleaning and shaping of the canal. So with the instrument you are just shaping, and when you use these kind of medicament plus irrigant, you are just cleaning the canal. So 100% effective result if you want, then beside irrigation you have to use this intracanal medicament in between the appointment. As you give dressing of these, like I did the root canal treatment, access opening, cleaning and shaping, and in the next appointment I will just give the dressing of these and will call after 1 week and we'll do this. The one important question which is asked in the NEET MDS is the composition of the triple antibiotics paste. Mostly this question is commonly asked in the NEET MDS examination. So this was all about intracanal medicaments, its uses, indication, how it is to be carried in the canal, that is with the help of Lantellius spiral, for how much time it will be effective, so how much amount of these has to be used, and what are the different intracanal medicament. So if you have any problem, you can just put it down in the comment section, and in the comment section you can tell me on which topic should I make videos which will be helpful to you. So if you have just liked it, just like it, just click like and share it, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, and you have already subscribed, thanks for coming back to my channel and watching it.